Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Tharries podcast, a super special edition of the Tharries podcast because this is the biggest cast for a Tharries podcast that I've ever done. That was hard to say. Anyway, I've got most of Time of the Whovians United with me today, except for Farron, who unfortunately couldn't make it. Hello, guys.
Hey,
Hello.
mate.
G'day.
So,
It's taken us since December.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's
Obviously,
been a very long time.
we're recording this February 22nd, so that's just to give you an idea of how long.
2020, guys.
So, just to give you a quick rundown of who we've got George,
Hey, mate.
we got Corey,
Hello there.
and we got Jack.
G'day everyone. Excited to be here.
All right. So, as you guys know, the format is normally we get you guys to talk about the channel and how you guys got started and all the different projects that you're working on and all that other stuff. So, whoever wants to lead the way can lead the way. I'll leave it up to you.
I think Corey should go first.
Right, I think the best way to go about this is, George, you talk very briefly about the first few eras, and then I'll talk about
Very
how
briefly.
this particular era started. I think that's probably the best idea to go.
So you
through.
want me to go first then?
Yeah, be brief on the early eras.
So obviously, it all started in 2014 with the original channel, where it was a group of random Whovians with me and Whovian Vortex who made the channel with like Richard Lloyd, Harvey Smith, and obviously that ended. I made two other joint channels named Whovian Universe. That also failed, so we decided to do a revival channel. Like this is technically a revival channel because it was made on the 5th of December 2015, but properly got started on the 1st of January. Obviously, Era 1, obviously it was like 6 members. Me, Whovian Fan 2003, X-Class Gaming, Reese Moore, Whovian Vortex, FT12 Films, who's also Harvey. It's quite brief, only 8 videos, and it's kind of mad now because we're almost at 50 videos on Era 6, so it's a massive improvement, obviously. That failed. Era 1 was like kind of like an introduction. We didn't really know what we were doing, just random videos. Era 2 happened, obviously Harvey left and we had more people like James Riley or Tom, who obviously that was also introduction. We didn't really know, the first 2 eras we didn't really know what we were doing. We just kind of had fun of making videos. But eventually, obviously, Tom left the channel then, so Era 3 happened. That's where I believe a brief way of saying it is where toxic this channel was, and I'm so happy that now there's hardly any toxic and no arguments or anything really. Just disagreements on stuff like the Impossible Planet or Love and Monsters, because Love and Monsters is an actually good episode. Just saying.
Certainly is.
Ooh,
Certainly is.
You've got a controversial opinion in already. Nice.
But yeah, so yeah, it's just loads of like 1 to 5 is kind of like there's not really a team structure really. Like everybody was like, oh, we're just going along the ride. To be fair, it's like arguments everywhere, disagreement. Everybody just leaves. Like if someone left right now, like everybody will notice that someone's left the channel because we can't get away with that anymore. But luckily we didn't, and we all work together nowadays. Especially me and Jack. We got a project coming in end of next year. Oh no, end of this year, maybe early next year. That will be really good.
Yes.
But yeah, it's just
We've got a lot of exciting stuff planned at the moment. Whether it's going to happen or not, I mean, we've got heaps of stuff coming up that I'm really excited for myself, and
yeah.
Excellent. So the one question I wanted to ask is, you mentioned Richard Lloyd at the beginning. Is that the Richard Lloyd as in YouTube Richard?
Yeah, I noticed.
That is the one. The one and only.
In 2014, I found the group chat and he was on. I don't believe he made any videos, but he was on. It's crazy because I totally forgot because I can't really remember the 2014 channel. But yeah,
It's a long time ago, wasn't it? It was a long time ago.
The whole channel does feel like a story, to be fair, from my end.
Well, I think I'll pick up then on that point, and I'll tell the story of how this particular era came to life. There's quite a funny quite a funny story around it. So yeah, I came in era 5. Yeah, that's when I came in. The story goes basically was that at the time I was doing a channel, I called it Doctor Who Rankings. I was ranking all sorts of things Doctor Who.
No, it's called Doctor Who Reactions, not Doctor Who Rankings.
It was one of the two. I changed it at some point. Whatever, it might have been Reactions at that point. I was in Wales doing a summer job, my very first summer job in Wales. I was a camp coach for a company called Kingswood.
It's a great country, just saying that.
Yeah, I know, believe it or not. I made the trip to Wales, believe it or not. Yeah, I was looking after kids.
That's where Doctor Who's made.
It is.
Oh, really?
It's also where I made.
No one cares about
yeah,
that.
but yeah, I was just doing a job with kids and doing like outdoor adventurous activities or whatever. And one day, George or whoever it was made a comment on my channel saying, "Oh, great channel! We'd like you to be involved. Would you like to join it?" And I thought, you know what? Why not? I enjoy a challenge. I enjoy doing something different. So I thought, I'll join and see what I can do, see what I can add to this channel, and it'll be a good chance to try and branch out what I was doing. So we, I agreed, and we decided to do a little. I've always called like we are now on Messenger, and because of where I was in Wales, the signal was really bad, so I had to go down to the local town to try and get some signal, some internet to actually get on the call. And the call happened outside of Tesco, and the signal was really, really bad, and we couldn't really hear each other very well. But we managed to make an agreement. I said I would join the channel, and then whilst I was there on the job, in my days off, I started to make videos. I made my introduction video and my cliffhanger video on site in my room, and nobody ever knew. No one knew that. Nobody knew that. I was buying all sorts of Doctor Who merch and DVDs and pop stuff while I was away, but they never knew I was doing a channel secretly on my days off. And we did that. And then for some reason, at some point, we made the decision to stop Time of the Whovians, Era 5, and that ended.
Can I talk about Era 5?
If you want to mention the Era 5, you can do. Yeah, for whatever reason, George, we can tell you now, it ended.
It ended. If you see on the channel, there's hardly any videos, because I'm not going to say his name because he doesn't, but the geek from Heaven, he was second leader, but obviously he made we had two different directions that it's just fooled because like no one had motivation. Like back then we cared so much about views, and like if we didn't get to 100 views, like we just stopped caring about it. Obviously now at this era we agreed not to care about views if it gets to 100 or not. But obviously that failed because we decided to do Series 11 reviews that ended up never happening. And then we both and after I did an Indiana Jones video on the channel, but I decided I want to talk more stuff instead of Doctor Who. So we decided to end this channel with a video called End of an Era, and did another joint channel called One Day Media.
One Day Media.
And since then, me and Corey have become really good friends. We're like literally to this day we are like best friends. She's kind of like we gave him a nickname, Cringy Grandad. So it's like. We're a really good team, and that's why this channel has been going quite well for 7 whole months. Anyway,
is
that longer than any other era so far?
No.
Yes, it's not.
Era as an era, no. But as a whole, era 1 to 4, like it's gone the 1st of January to the 1st of January 2017 for 4 years. For one whole. Yeah. The longest the channel has been. Was a year and a few months. So if we made it over June, then we'd be a long carry on.
So it ended. We wanted to keep doing something new, and we decided why not? Rather than doing Doctor Who, let's try and do something that could be anything or a wider branch of like fandoms. So we came up with the idea of One Day Media, and we got a load of different YouTubers involved, and that lasted for a couple of months. We had
8 things to do in 2019.
that was a great video because we did 8 things to do, and then George edited it and realised he messed up the numbering, and then he just thought some points.
There was only like 4 things to do.
So he cut it down from 8 things to do down to like 4 or 5. Well, anyway, we had all sorts of people on there doing videos about different fandoms and different walks of life, and even I made some videos about interviews and doing presentations because at the time that was important for me at university. And then eventually it stopped because motivations to make videos and
there was
whatever.
No teamwork. No one was
it just didn't feel like it was working, so we stopped it. And then me and George about that point got quite a good friendship going, and we sat down and thought, shall we make a new channel? So we just start fresh, start anew, and do our own thing. And then one day I thought, you know what, George, and I told him this, you know what, there's no point making something new. You've already got a good platform with time. Why not? We'll just go and bring it back, completely new era, new ideas, try and do it completely different, and try to regenerate it. And that is what we did. What I did was what I brought to the channel was stuff that I learned from different YouTubers. So out there's like YouTubers that inspired different improvements. So people like Brian G. Johnson and Nick Niman, and people like them who do channels about creating a YouTube channel and improving it and making better videos. And a lot of the ideas that they use, I brought it across to this channel now. And we set up the whole Era 6. We went searching for members. I did it, George did it, and we somehow stumbled across Millsy Who and the Nerdologist, and thought, for some reason, that those 2 people would be a good addition to the channel. I don't know why we decided that.
Do you want me to tell my side of the story?
Can I say one thing before Jack does?
Yeah.
Go on.
Oh, I noticed through era 1 to 5 and One Day Media, there was no teamwork, and I'm so happy about this era. Like, we actually all work together, and I think how to make a joint channel is if a team works together. And I mean, I know that's simple, but I mean, the first 5 eras we haven't achieved that, and it's the most simple thing.
Yes, getting the simple things right is what always works. So yeah, as I was saying, we stumbled across these 2 weird and wonderful channels, and we made the decision to contact them to see if they'd like to join this new channel. And obviously they said yes. So so Jack, tell us from your point of view, what happened on your end?
So I'll just quickly tell you like how I got on YouTube. I was obviously a big Doctor Who fan, and I liked 5 Who fans. They were my favorite Doctor Who channel, and then they went and stopped their channel. They're a great channel, so you should go check them out, even though they're not making content anymore. But they stopped their channel, and I was like, huh, that sucks. What if I make my own channel where I try and be funny and about Doctor Who? Which I don't know if I'm actually that funny, but anyway. So yeah, I made my own channel, and then George reached out to me after I'd made a couple of vids. He was like, "Oh, you want to be on my joint channel called
Which
one?
one? I mean, I deleted the comment, but which one was that? Was it the Witchfinders of the collection? Because I know there was a Dalek. So you filmed that.
It was on my parody collection video where
There you
I
go.
make fun of collection videos.
Oh, right, yeah.
That's sorry, my Corey City hasn't done well.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry,
about
just
that.
boring. Just a bit boring. Anyway. Where was I? Okay, yeah. So George reached out and he's like, "Do you want to be in my joint on my group channel?" And I just had 5 Who fans in my head. I'm like, hell yeah, of course I'll join a group channel. That'll be so fun. And here I am today, stuck with these 2 and Farron.
Yeah, I think we can agree, George. We chose Jack for the very reasons that he's just said. We thought funny. It's the engagement in his videos, and that's what we want to bring to it. We want different. We want creative.
We actually written this on the what's it called? On our Wikipedia page, you know. Go check it out.
No.
We chose Jack because he was creative, engaging, funny, different, and he's Australian. Like, come on, Australian. That's just an instant win.
He
Anyway,
had a lot of work to
you
beat
know.
Blake, because at the time we were like, you need, like, Blake was really good. Like, we liked Blake, and Jack was like, I don't think I can be as good as Blake. And now, well, he's proved everybody wrong. I
If
think.
you don't
But
know,
he has,
for reference, Blake was another person that used to be on the channel who was also
Yes. He
Australian.
was also Australian, yeah.
we had 2 Australians. But yeah, we obviously took Jack because of his skits and also his fun personality. But should we talk about
thanks.
Farron? And I know Farron's
Yeah, why
probably
not?
will do one with Farron, but he might do it quite brief. So
I feel like with Farron, he's very good at making quick videos and getting his
Yes.
getting his point across quickly, which
Very well,
obviously
very good.
is very valued on YouTube because
it gets straight to
people
the point.
don't have as much time to these days.
Yes.
They want to
Yes.
watch quick content. So and he's
Yeah, he's
he's really opinionated and really good to work with. So
yeah, he's got that nerd, about him. He loves all these fandoms and all these different things like Doctor Who.
yeah,
And he's just got that attachment to them, which makes because he loves it that much. He's got all his opinions. He wants to talk about it to the world, which makes him good for me. When he's just in his own videos, he can tell you straight to the point, nice and quick. Boom, boom, boom. This is what I think and feel. Here you go. And that's what makes it so good.
It's really different to all of us, really. Obviously, Jack's like very scared and doesn't take anything seriously, except for like this fear. Let's just have a minute to think about how Jack made a serious sort of video with a few jokes. That's crazy. But Corey's more cringy humor. He's trying to be cool. No, he makes really good content. I'm sort of Jack as well, but more scared. I don't know how would you describe me, but
we have a lot of in jokes on the channel, and one of them is that I never make serious content. Always make always take the piss out of something, and then one is that Corey is a cringy granddad because he is the oldest on the channel.
I'm the eldest, and I'm more into Classic Who, and I make a lot of references all the time. Like, I always make references to Doctor Who and all sorts of things. So, like, before we even started this call, Tharries, I was so tempted to say these words. I was tempted to say that in the wise words of Doctor Doom, this is going to be fun. Sort of thing. I like to reference all sorts of things.
And you had to
That's
say
also a Star Wars meme as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello there. And yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, but
Don't get me started, please.
I do think Farron is the most different out of all of us in content. Like, he's very serious. I do like the podcast. I remember Farry said if you got rid of Farry's off the podcast in these Did It Fails, he'll be so different because Corey's very... No, actually, Farry, you say it. I think you should say it.
I said that obviously what I like about your Did It Fail videos is that like each of you offers a completely different perspective on it most of the time. Obviously, Corey's probably the most positive one. I think George is probably in the middle a lot of the time, and then you got Farron, who's like the complete. He's probably the closest to me in terms of my opinion.
Well, not on that. Did you hear me review?
Yeah, except that one, which I really like.
It's the perfect balance. Yeah, that's what's good about it. It's the perfect balance between all the opinions. So rather it being a ranting video or a really positive video, it's an insight into all the different angles. That's really good to see.
There's someone for everyone to relate to.
Yes.
I will say one of the draws, obviously, I think I found the channel when Era 6 started up. And I remember messaging George saying I liked what he did. And I remember that the immediate draw for me was the fact that it was clear that you all got on really well. And that's become very clear doing this already, that you do get on well as friends.
Yeah, we all get along.
We do.
I think that is the most important thing when you do something like this. And obviously the second thing that caught my eye was the fact that I didn't know of many other group Doctor Who channels outside of the obvious 5 Who fans, Who addicts. Outside of those two, I didn't really know of any others, so it was cool to see another one. And obviously, as I said, you all seem to get on very well. All your opinions are very, very different, which makes for a more balanced channel, which I appreciate. And yeah, I just think that in terms of your content, there's a wide variety. So like, if you like the more skit-based stuff, like with the 5 Who fans, then you get a bit of that. if you like the more with like the therapy video and stuff, but if you like more sort of review type videos, you've got the Did It Fails for that. There's a bit of everything, which is what I think I really appreciate about the channel, and it's really interesting to hear how long of a history goes into it before obviously now, because I know at least for myself there isn't a lot of history there. It's just I've only been doing it for about a year, so it's really interesting.
We treat this era like it's a completely new channel.
Yeah.
And the first 5, even 2014, kind of doesn't exist. I mean, it does exist, but we just kind of like put it at the back of our memory. You know,
the thing. George is very embarrassed because I don't know. He doesn't like the old videos. He thinks they're maybe embarrassing.
You've got to see George's very first. You've got to go and see George's first video. Please go and do that because
I think I might have, because I remember.
Got to do it. Well, you know.
No, you have. You said you just talked about. Oh, George is so cute.
To be fair, I imagine at some point in the future we will do a reaction video to all our first videos. It's got to happen at some point. So
you got to do
what watch the video now. You're gonna do it.
You gotta do what that fellow, the confused ad posted, where you talk to your young selves. That's what you should do.
That is genius, and I love that idea. That is so genius.
It was such a good idea.
Potential that channel.
But yeah, no, I really have enjoyed your channel over the past sort of, obviously with Series 12 in particular. Like your content's just been amazing. Obviously, I loved being a part of which one was the part? Was it Truth Behind Series 12?
Oh yeah,
that one I loved.
Yeah,
I think a lot of other people did as well, just for the sheer it just really did remind me of a sort of a Five Feet Fans skit where they get as many people on it as possible, and you know it was just so well done. You know, Johnny the cameraman still makes me chuckle,
bro.
So
yeah, he's great.
Yeah,
I think that's another thing good with this channel as well. Like, it sort of gives you a sense of community. Like, sometimes we do get, often we get other people on the channel, and that's good as well. But even just when it's just us, you still get a sense of community because it's more than one person.
Yeah, and you get to bounce ideas off each other as well, I would say.
I think we're taking the whole time of the Whovians to another level now. Because it's great collabing with different YouTubers, you know, of any range of subscribers, you know. It's great to work with different people and get to meet them and become friends and stuff and work with them and share ideas. So I think what we're now taking on is trying to not make the channel just collab with everybody, but that chance is there. It's open. If we want to collab with anybody, we'll be open to the idea and do more of it.
What I will say as any channel starting out is collaborations is some of the best way to get your name out there. Obviously, that was kind of the origin of this podcast that we're currently doing, was, you know, me sort of collaborating with other channels, and slowly it's grown to be quite big. Obviously, I've had a number of different channels on, and this is the biggest one that I've ever done in terms of the amount of people. So
you're doing everyone. You did Harry's Moving Castles, the Who Addicts.
You're almost made it and got Barrack Stemis on, like.
Yeah, I know.
You almost got him.
I know.
You almost got him. You're so close. But yeah.
I know.
It's a shame. It's a real shame.
I actually ended up DMing with the Twitter guy Barack Stemis. He's a really nice guy, and that was so bizarre. It was so strange. But obviously, he had me fooled. I had to do extensive research to realize that he wasn't real. You know, We were saying right. Who do you think realistically could be behind that channel? You know, I said, I bet it's Chibnall. It's got to be. Who else is Chibnall behind that? He's the guy who created this idea. It's got to be him, isn't it? Who else but Chibnall? But I don't know.
Old Chibbers.
The Dumpster Fire, the sequel.
Oh,
Dumpster Fire.
Yeah.
I like.
That's a channel that we shouldn't be calling out. I mean, guess shouting out.
I do like True Pine Series 12 because, you know, we got practically all different sort of people in the video. The people who hate the show, people who like the show. I mean, Tharries, you and Elliot kind of like swap roles. You pretended to like this current era, and Elliot pretended to hate this, be a Barrastrak.
Yeah.
I love that. And obviously you get Ed, who's really excited, and I'm so happy that we did that. Because I pitched the original idea to Jack, and Jack liked it. He liked the idea that we harass Chibnall. I think that's the only original that we kept in, and we changed with like sandwiches and.
I really wanted it to be a sandwich for some reason.
Yes.
I don't know. It's just because, like, I don't know. I thought the idea of subverting expectations would be funny. Like instead of like a returning like villain, like it's a Mega or something. Like she's just eating a sandwich, and everyone's getting up in arms about it or something. I don't know.
That makes it so
Is there a
funny.
sandwich in Series 12 so far? Because I believe. Did Graham have one?
Yes, he did.
always
The
talks
ghost.
about
The
them.
ghost.
Oh yeah.
The ghosts. Yeah, those ghosts that we can't explain brought him some sandwiches.
That's another thing I was
we knew there was
thinking
going to be a
about as well.
sandwich in this series.
I always thought that was kind of strange in Villa Diodati, where it's just like, oh well, maybe there's ghosts that exist. It's like, well, what? Okay.
Yeah. It sort of does not make sense when the Doctor's always like never believed in ghosts.
It's very strange. But I suppose that leads nicely on into the next sort of topic of discussion, which is how did you guys all get into Doctor Who? Well, I obviously know how you started talking about Doctor Who, but what was the impetus for your fandom, if you like?
Again, I start with Corey.
I don't know who wants to start, but same again, whoever wants to start.
I don't mind starting because I am the eldest. So my journey. So I started watching Doctor Who from 2005. I don't believe I actually watched the very first episode. My dad was in the army, and we moved all over the place, and we moved to Germany. And my memory has it that we moved into the new house, and then at some point, a couple of weeks later, we turned the TV on, and I think it was Young Quiet Dead. And I just sat and watched it, and my mum and dad were like, "Oh my God, Doctor Who's back! Wow!" And I just ever since from that moment, I have watched it. I got all the DVDs for my birthday. I started researching everything. I started getting really invested in the show, and ever since I've become a really, really big fan. And then it took it to another level, roughly around about when I was about, I'm going to say about 15, maybe 15 years old is when I started wanting to buy the classic DVDs, and I started to slowly collect them. So I got a few for my birthday, for Christmas. I only had a handful. I actually think potentially, for some reason, Revelation of the Daleks might have been my first one I ever got, potentially.
Okay.
If I remember, I don't know why it was. It might have been, or was it the Time Warrior? Can't remember. But anyway, and then that sort of kick-started the whole YouTube thing. But I didn't actually. I completed my collection of DVDs just after my 20th birthday, I think. Because as I got towards about 18, when I had control of my own money and whenever I started getting a job, I just started buying the DVDs a bit more regularly, and I started buying more merchandise and stuff. And I come to my 20th birthday, and I had say about £300 worth of DVDs left to buy, and I just thought, rather than just prolonging this, I'll just buy them all at once. And I eventually bought the rest of my collection on my 20th birthday or something. And now I've got the whole collection on DVD, even Series 11, George. Even Series 11, George.
I must admit, Corey, I didn't pin you down as being 20. I thought you were younger than that.
That's what everyone else says.
No, I am 21, 22 this year.
Oh wow! Obviously, I knew you were older than George. I knew you were older than George.
Everyone thinks I'm young. Just don't.
Believe it or not. But I started in 2005, and I saw it on TV, and ever since I've had a massive interest, which has led to me spending a fair amount of money. Probably not the most someone's ever spent on Doctor Who, but I can definitely say I do not regret, because.
We all have the same money problem with Doctor Who.
What would you rather have? A load of money or Doctor Who stuff? Of course, I choose Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
I would disagree.
I will make money. I will make money somehow one day. I will get it back. It's fine. I'll be fine.
Sure.
I believe
Right, so
it's you, Corey. That's your favourite Doctor is John Pertwee. Am I right in saying that?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. Well observed. Yes.
Which is I think my ranking would be quite contentious with you because John Pertwee is ranked quite low on the list for the simple fact being,
Jack, Corey, respect people's opinions.
Go on. Yes. Yeah,
for the simple fact that I'm not a fan of the whole Venusian Aikido thing. The physical aspect and obviously the James Bond style. I can understand. I can appreciate that the stories are great, but it's just my personal preference. I would prefer the sort of more base under siege style of Troughton, or maybe sort of more space adventures of Baker. So that's always just been a personal preference of mine.
It's a bit weird for me, right? Because I'll admit, John Pertwee is my favourite for those reasons. I like the action man, James Bond style. I love the charm that he has. But admittedly, I do have a love for the '60s, the Troughton, the base on the siege, the Cybermen. I do love stuff like that. I do like Sylvester McCoy though. It's hard, it's difficult, but yeah, you are right. I do like John Pertwee quite a lot because I have thought his costume.
Yeah, I've seen that. I'm very jealous, by the way. It's very well done. The cosplay.
Yeah.
Good
cosplay.
Yeah, it's really good.
Should I go next?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
So, my story of Doctor Who starts with my mum, actually. She watched it in the 70s with Tom Baker and his long scarf, and when it got rebooted in 2005, I didn't actually watch it because I was only 2 years old. But my mum obviously watched on, and I don't know, about around 2011, 2010, they would always have repeats on weekdays over in Australia, from Christopher Eccleston all the way up to the latest Matt Smith stuff. And at first I didn't actually watch it. My mum would put me to bed, and then she'd watch it by herself. And I always ask her, "Oh, why didn't you let me watch it that young?" And she's like, "Oh, it'd be too scary." I'm just like, "Well, that's the point." With all the scared behind the sofa stereotypes. Everyone was scared of the Doctor Who monsters as a kid. I'm always like, oh, that's the point. But anyway, so she eventually introduced it to me around the end of Series 6, and immediately fell in love with it. I guess the rest is history. Series 7 happens. The Day of the Doctor happens. My first new Doctor, and Peter Capaldi, happens.
What else happened?
He turns out to be one of my favourites. Did I miss something?
No. Amy died.
Oh, okay. Oh, Amy died. Yeah, she wasn't my favourite. Anyway.
Controversial. Backfires on your back.
Wow.
I actually really like Amy. I will say.
I feel like I just grew up watching David Tennant repeats, so I'm just not as much a Matt Smith era fan.
Yeah.
I mean, I still love it, and I like Amy, but anyway, I guess the rest is history.
And you find out Jack prefers Rose and Amy, and Backfires on your back.
Wait, Jack, you prefer Rose over Amy? Really?
No,
Yeah.
I just made that up. Oh. This is the first time I heard of it. I just made a joke.
Because that's a video that's meant to happen between you two, isn't it? Yes.
One day.
We actually had planned between me and Farron. He would do Why Rose Sucks, or something similar to
that's
that.
been a conversation since his introduction video.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I would
has.
do afterwards Why Rose is great as a response.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for
That's
it.
a plan we've had.
I'll say after Series 12 airs, you can have a lot of time to do other stuff. I've got a lot of
Plenty of time.
stuff.
Oh, we got a lot of time
in the pipeline.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Sure.
that leads on to George, the final one. So.
Oh, hi guys.
Do you want to tell me how you got into Doctor Who?
I've got into Doctor Who a while. I mean, technically I did watch since 2005, because also I did watch repeats and stuff, but I remember I did watch the original series, but it's kind of like fadey memories. I didn't really like remember it because I was 4, I believe.
Yeah.
So obviously there were loads of other shows I watched, like cartoon shows, like, you know, because I was 4. But also my family did watch the earlier season, like Tom Bacon and stuff, and you know, so obviously that's how I got into it. But I'm not going to repeat what Jack said because it's sort of similar. I got more into it when Series 2 came out. That's why I'm more biased on Series 2 because it's a lot of nostalgia. Because let's be honest, I did like Love and Monsters. There are loads of episodes I did enjoy. Fear Her. Now I'm more critical about it, but I do like watching it. That's probably if it came out. If I start watching those episodes now, I'd probably be like everybody else. But as it's a big part of what I like, that's probably why I like Love and Monsters. I see the problems, but I think Love and Monsters is that episode that I can just sit down and watch quite a lot of times. I mean, we've made plenty of memes on the group.
Plenty, yeah, plenty.
But yeah,
it's just like people's personal experiences like change how they see a story, I guess. Like nostalgia definitely changes like how people
I will say I am
perceive
somewhat
something.
nostalgic for Fear Her because I remember one of the first, it wasn't the first, but one of the first DVDs I got was a double pack with Fear Her and Army of Ghosts Doomsday. That DVD.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I remember just watching both of those stories a lot. So I don't think that Fear Her is that great. It probably is one of the worst of the Davies era, but I don't think it quite deserves the flack that it gets a lot of the time. I think some of it can be a little bit unwarranted.
I think most will agree that Fear Her has probably got one of the most memeable characters in Doctor Who, being Kel.
Kel.
You know,
I report you to cancel.
Kel.
Oh
yes.
yeah,
I thought you were
really? You reckon?
Yeah.
I mean,
Great.
I thought you were going to
Great.
say Chloe Webber. But,
Okay, apart from her as well, but Kel as well.
What about Chloe's dad?
I don't know. There's
coming
strong
to get you.
contestants in like.
There's a few. Yeah.
What about Benny and the Absorbaloff? Like, surely they're
I think
better.
the Absorbaloff is probably the most. Benny is certainly
Of course.
Yeah.
Benny.
Where's Farrell when we need him? We need Farrell
Yeah.
to do the Benny
I
meme.
know.
Benny. But yeah, with my history, I do think Christmas Invasion is episode 1 of series 2. Just say that out there.
Stop it.
Oh.
Yes.
That's a big thing between these two. They always argue: is it episode 0 or episode 1?
I think it's episode 1.
It's a bridge between the two series.
No, it's episode 1. Anyways, series 3 and series 4 are my 2 favourite seasons. I think that if I do a ranking, those 2 seasons are set on stone because like the other seasons they always change. Like series 1 better than series 5. It always changes. Like, but 1 and 2 is like series 3 and 4 are like always set in stone. But yeah, I got into series 5. That was a great time. I'm trying to remember. But yeah, I just got more into Doctor Who in the 3rd and 4th era. I always sat down, got the Doctor Who magazines. Did anyone get Doctor Who Adventures? Not the channel, but the magazines, because I got a dozen of them.
I did actually, yeah. I did for a while.
Probably
I
at
used to
some
collect
point.
all the stickers and all sorts from it. I
got the sticker books. I got
yeah.
series 2, 3, and 4. I didn't get the 5th one, but then they rebooted with the Peter Capaldi one. I wish they can go back to sticker books, but then make it.
I used to collect the cards a lot. Obviously,
I did as well.
I did that at
school.
You had
and we
the
just
Battles in Time ones, and then you obviously had the Monster Invasion ones for the Max.
Those Monster Invasion. That's just remembered. That's just reminds me at school when I got some. Obviously, my friends didn't like Doctor Who, so we just like saw a classic one in the 3rd Doctor that looks like a bug or something in a onesie, and we just made memes and we just threw it away. Those were the times. But yeah, series 6 was like the year when I left primary. So I remember, this is how weird it is, because I was a massive fan. When the few days before primary ended, I remember saying my time is almost up. I was planning on saying it. I don't know why I was a geek, okay, before I left. And obviously going to year 7, Jack left. He will come back. I just remember series 7 where after Angel Take Manhattan, I just remember just someone like pretends to be a weeping angel, and I just keep moving, and it was so much fun. I think the last time everybody actually cared about the show was the 50th. But everybody knew I liked Doctor Who at school, so it's like, because back then I actually cared a lot about the show. Now I'm more relaxed now. It's like, yeah, it's a show I'll watch, as Corey knows. But yeah, I did loads of Doctor Who figure adventures when I started, when I was 11. They were so embarrassing. They're all on private now, but that's how I got into it. And then a lot of people did take the mickey out of it when it started. But also, I was 11 with a squeaky voice. And then I got into contacts with these channels called Joe27157. I don't know, Planet Production, The Doc 11th, and I kind of leaned me to other people. If I never text them, I wouldn't be here, because it's like process of like progression of talking to new people.
One thing. You say you were 11 with a squeaky voice. Did you ever get out of that phase, or?
Oh, shut up! I hate you so much.
I'm only kidding. George knows I'm kidding, because like we call all the time, but it's, he knows I'm kidding. That would make me look very mean if I just got you onto a podcast just to slag
I'm
you
gonna
off.
kill you.
I know.
I'm going to Wales.
I'm in Wales.
Yeah, I got into just Series 8, Series 9, and I did a joint channel, and it's just brilliant discussing Doctor Who with other people. I love ranking, I love making music, especially this era. But the last time I got properly excited was Series 9 with the trailers. The trailer looks so good, and obviously Series 10 was more or less my exam period, so I wasn't that excited, but I did watch it. And I liked Series 10. When Series 11 came, it's a point where I was like moving on from Doctor Who with other shows, like Breaking Bad and stuff. But I'm still doing this channel. I'm still watching it. I told Corey, like, if they do the pre-Hartnells or if it's just generally bad, I might not watch Series 13.
Yeah, I'm the same with you on that. If they go for the pre-Hartnell thing, which I'm not saying they will, but if they do go with that, then I probably won't watch Series 13 either. I can't. Don't get me started on the pre-Hartnell.
It just be Corey and Jack making the reviews.
Just watch my rant video on Fugitive of the Jadoon to see what my thoughts on that are. I just think that concept in general is just horrible concept. I don't like it. I suppose. Oh, go on.
I think we all know that no matter what happens, I'll still be watching next year. The pre-Hartnell thing is probably a stupid idea, and I wouldn't like it, but I'll still watch next year, because Chibnall's like saying, you know what, this year's been really big, but next year's going to be bigger. So I'm like, all right, Chibnall, let's see what you got.
Yeah.
But
I do think the viewing figures will be bad for Series 13, because Series 11 ended with like 5 minutes, and that's where Series 12 kind of started.
Depends,
and keep going lower and lower. And I don't think Series 13 is
I will say I don't think the gap years help. I don't think they help, because you've got like these big gaps of time where the show's just not relevant at all. At least.
Luckily, we've got the Christmas potentially coming this year, possibly, or whatever special that is.
That is something, I suppose.
That'll break up a little bit.
I'll just say, like, at least in 2016, at least we had a class. It wasn't good, but at least it was there. You know,
I thought it was alright, to be honest. I thought it was alright.
I couldn't even get through the first episode, I won't lie. I just... nah.
I was, like, so angry, like, how could they, like... That cliffhanger with the Weeping Angels, I thought, this is greatness. I want to see Series 2. And then the cancelled it. I thought, what have you done? Why are you cancelling class for? I want to see what happens next. And, like, oh.
Nah, I was never...
Like, what are you doing? Like... I
was never a fan of class. I suppose that leads us quite nicely into... The next segment, which is obviously opinions on current Doctor Who, which we've already sort of started anyway. But obviously, I'll start with Corey, because his opinions are probably the ones that juxtapose mine the most.
Typical Corey, always being positive.
When we say, right, we'll get it out there, right? I'm not like a positive person where I go, oh my god, it's a 10 out of 10 every single time.
Yeah.
I can be critical.
You gave Open 55 a 7 and Fahrenheit.
No, I didn't. I put it down to a 5. I think I'm fine. I moved it down to a 5. But I'm one of those people that genuinely just really enjoy stuff like Doctor Who, because that is the thing I've loved all my life, and I will enjoy whatever I see. But that will make up a little bit of how I rate an episode, but obviously there's a load of other things that will also take into account. So I thought it started off pretty well with Spyfall Part 1.
I'd agree,
But,
actually.
oh my god, I'm like, yes. And then Spyfall Part 2 came, and I'm like, this is still good, but I think you kind of missed the trick here, because I think for me, Spyfall Part 2 was going all right until the moment where the Doctor came in and stopped it all, because
Yeah.
I would prefer to see them actually go through the plan and see what damage they would have caused, and then see the Doctor actually come in and stop it before it gets too bad. Because I was excited to see what are they actually going to do? What is the build up to this moment? And just as it starts to wreak havoc, she comes in and goes, "Ha! No, I'm here. Goodbye."
Yeah, the
End
ending did
off.
feel very rushed. I honestly
Yeah, I was
thought that
like-
it was going to be a 3-parter with the way it was going.
Yeah,
story-wise.
That's why
talked
we're
about this.
making
Yeah,
that's why we're making a part what if part
Yeah.
3 video in the next few weeks.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then but I think so far I definitely think Series 12 is better than Series 11. Yeah,
Mhm. I
definitely
agree with that, yeah.
definitely. Definitely, I like the callbacks, the references to Classic Who. I like how Chibnall is bringing a couple of stuff back, that is nostalgic, to try and get a bit more excitement. Hopefully it'll all pay off, because I don't want to just throw it all in the fan service and make people excited for no reason. I did rate the Haunting of Villa Diodati 10 out of 10, because that is an idea for Cybermen that I really enjoyed. I thought that I've done really well there.
Still a 10 out of 10.
I know. That's the only 10 out of 10. It's actually of the Whittaker era. That's one of possibly one out of maybe two I might have given a 10 out of 10. But anyway, I think a lot of this series is will depend on this finale, because a lot of the big stuff like the Fugitive of the Jadoon, that's a good episode. But if all that Jack stuff was pointless, that will ruin the episode, because it was just fan service. But if it really does pay off in the finale, it can really pay off. But if it doesn't pay off, well,
That's why I didn't
definitely-
rank Fugitive any higher than a 5, because it, as you said, it very much depends on how it's all paid off. Because if it's paid off really well, it might go up in my estimations. But if it's paid off terribly and they go with pre-Hartlaw and Jack was pointless, then it'll probably be go way down. So that's why I've ranked it as a 5, because I can't give it any more based on it. Basically, is just a setup episode, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. But obviously, it's difficult to rank something which basically exists to set up other things in that way.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, no, I pretty much agree. To reinstate my opinions on Series 12, just so I can sort of have so everyone knows my opinions if you haven't seen my channel before. I personally think that Series 12 is a really mixed bag, in the sense that you go from 1 week with Spyfall, which I personally think is a pretty solid start to the series. Spyfall Part 2 did drop the ball a little bit with the conclusion, as I just mentioned with Corey. But I think it's just such a mixed bag. You go from that to something like Orphan 55, which I think was just dire. And then you get something like Praxius, which was just kind of boring to me. But then you get something like Nikola Tesla, which is, pretty solid as well. It's kind of all over the place for me. I'll say, as you said, it is definitely an improvement over Series 11. To be fair, I think personally for me, anything would have been an improvement over Series 11. I am slightly worried about, obviously, you pointed out the callbacks being a good thing, and I think they are to an extent, but I do worry about the show becoming over-reliant on them in the future, because that's a concern that I had with the Moffat era, was that obviously it was so reliant on the past in order to keep people invested in it, that it ended up alienating a lot of people. So in that respect, I can understand it being a positive, and I think from certain things it is a positive. I think bringing back the Master with Sacha Dhawan was a pretty good idea. I'm on board with that. I thought the Cybermen was well utilised, even though I did think it would work better with the Weeping Angels, but that's a whole different kind of worms. But yeah, I do worry slightly about the longevity of bringing back stuff. How much stuff is it going to have to bring back in Series 13, obviously. we pretty much.
However, I will say though, I do have my concerns about the resolution of the series, because what Chubble's done really well is got us all talking and theorising and thinking about what possibly could be the answer to all of this, and then him just saying, "Oh, don't worry, it's something simple, nothing tricky or anything. It's a simple explanation. Don't you worry." And then it's like, we want to know what actually is the answer to all of this. It's just the concerns if it does go down the pre-Hartnell era or just something stupidly, wild. We'll just see how it all affects next series. I'll have to wait and see. Hopefully it'll be a good resolution. Really, I really do hope it will be. Yeah.
No, I do too.
There are some really good theories out there. I've seen so many really good theories. Hopefully one of those are the right one, but we'll see. You never know. Chipple might surprise us. You never know. He could actually surprise us.
Well, I'll say that I thought the theory that you guys uploaded recently was really good. I just worry, as you said, that some of the theories I've seen are so good that when the inevitable, answer gets revealed, it's going to let everybody down. It's kind of like with what happened with the hybrid. We didn't really didn't even get an answer to that. It was just kind of, it could be you. It could
like
be
a hybrid.
It could be me. It could be the Doctor. It could be the Doctor and Clara. It's like, which is it?
Yeah, you're not wrong.
So that's kind of my concern, is that obviously, as you said, if it doesn't pay off, then I think that this series is already, I think, as a whole, it's, as I said, it's a very mixed bag. So I'd probably put it, like, ranking wise, in a similar sort of spot to, I would say, maybe Series 9 in that way. Series 9 had some good things, obviously with Heaven Sent and things like that, but then it obviously had its dire episodes like Hellbent and all that other stuff, and I really don't like the Dalek 2-parter in that one, so I'd probably rank it similarly to that, above Series 11, but still not that high for me. But I'll move on to George, because obviously podcast isn't about me. Or Jack, Jack. I don't mind.
I think Jack.
I don't mind. I'll let you guys decide. Oh, no one! No one at all!
Where's Jack?
Has he gone?
Yo, Jack, what's up? You have to cut this part out.
Go on, Jack. Give us your opinion of Series 12. Yes.
I can't hear him.
I don't think he's in the call anymore. Well, shoot.
He's online.
He's here. Yeah, he's here. He's talking right now. I can hear him.
Can you? I can't.
Jack,
yes, I can hear him. I can hear him right now.
Jack, could you leave and come back on?
I can hear him.
Okay.
That was happening before, Like, that's why I left straight away, because I was hearing conversations, but the other side wasn't coming through, and then it came back. A bit odd.
Yeah, please cut this part out of the video.
Yeah, I'm not going to leave this in.
What's going off? Weird. Well, now he's gone quiet.
Hello.
Okay, I heard something.
Okay.
Yeah, we were just saying, Jack, I don't know whether you heard everything that we were... Okay, so, Jack, what are your opinions on Series 12?
You can hear me now, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'll say the question one more time for the sake of...
Yeah.
Okay,
I
can't hear him
I
now.
heard it.
I can't hear him now. That's the thing. I can't hear him either.
Just leave and come back on.
Yeah.
Should I wait for Corey? I should just go for it.
No, you just go on with it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so, I can hear Jack now.
All right.
I can't hear him. He's gone.
Okay.
Now everyone else. Okay, this is very strange. If Jack leaves and then comes back, and if that doesn't change anything, then
Okay. So should I leave?
yeah, just
No,
leave and come back in.
This is technical difficulties.
Yeah, don't worry, I'll edit it out.
It was going so well.
Oh wow.
That's fine. I can edit it out. I wouldn't worry.
Can anyone hear me?
I can.
Yeah.
Can Corey?
Can Corey?
I can't hear him. I can hear you and George, but I can't hear him.
Corey, just
Okay,
leave and come up.
maybe if Corey leaves and then comes back.
I'll do that. I'll do it. I'll do it.
So when you're doing Farron,
I'll probably be fine. I don't know really. Probably maybe next month. I've got a lot of different podcasts lined up. This is the third one that I've recorded and not uploaded
yes,
yet.
I can hear all of you now. Yes, I
Right.
can hear you, Jack.
Excellent.
As well.
Okay, so I'll ask the question once more for the sake of
George,
editing.
speak, please.
George,
well,
It's George.
can you hear George?
It's George.
yeah,
Hold up. Say something.
Say something, George.
Jack.
Did you hear that? You just shouted Jack.
Yes,
All right.
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So Jack. No, I can't hear Jack.
I can.
Ah.
Okay, at the end of the day, Jack is the only one who's talking here, so
Like-
we've just
Jack's not coming through for me.
I can.
okay. Let's be honest. If Jack leaves and comes on, it's not a big deal if Corey can't hear him because at the end of the day, Corey's not talking.
Yeah, no, it's not that big a deal. What we could do is just like leave the call and come back in. That could work too. If we all
Okay.
left.
Hello. Can hear you.
I could, yeah. Okay,
Yeah, I
so
can hear
if
you.
we both leave and then we'll get them to come back in. If I call again, so if you leave as well, and then I leave. Okay, if I leave call and end the call. End the call. If I say end the call. And then just leave. Alright, so I started a new one. Okay, so I can hear George.
Who else is on this call?
Alright, no one else is on this call yet. Should we get everyone else to join the call?
Who else is on?
Alright,
Corey's here.
Now here we go.
Yeah.
Corey's here. Okay, I can hear Corey, I can hear George.
Very good.
Alright,
Who else
so
is-
two.
Yes. Yes, we're all good, I think.
Still can't hear Jack yet.
Where's Jack?
Nah, Jack's not here for some reason.
I can hear him though. It's weird, I can hear him. That's a weird thing. Yeah.
I can't hear him.
I can't.
Question, in our own chat, George, were you talking to Jack? Were you? Because Jack was kind of talking to himself in that chat. I was very
I
confused.
thought you two were pretending that I didn't exist.
No.
No.
I couldn't hear you, Jack, George, in that group chat. I thought genuinely that you two were doing something because I couldn't hear you and he was talking to Finn Air. I was very confused what was going on.
I cannot hear. I don't even think Jack's in the call. So if is there any way I can add him in somehow?
He is. I can see him right there.
See, we.
Like,
No,
I can't see him. He's
no,
just-
neither can I. So
Right, I'll send you a screenshot.
that's very strange.
Watch this. Ready? I'll show you.
Well, even that screenshot only shows me and you.
Okay, just tell Jack to come and leave, and if Corey can't hear him, it's not a big deal because, as I said, we don't need Corey. We need his audio. We need Jack's audio, and I can't see him.
Jack just joined the call apparently, and I still can't.
Corey, can you just leave and we tell you?
Oh, hang
Oh,
on.
I can. Jack.
Hello.
Okay, I can hear him. Corey, don't say anything because I know you can hear him. Okay, let's repeat the question.
Okay.
Quickly.
So repeating the question one more time. Jack, what did you think of Doctor Who Series 12?
Okay. Spyfall Part 1. I thought it was awesome. I loved it. Especially the Master coming back. I thought Sacha Dhawan was just amazing in the role. I absolutely love that reveal. Part 2, it was pretty good. It wasn't maybe not as good as the first one, but I rate it the same pretty much anyway. Especially that ending where just the Master in general. I love this version of the Master so far. Orphan 55. It was probably the weakest so far, but I still enjoyed it. I liked its message. It has an important message, at least important to me. And I like memes as well, so I guess the Benny meme is good. And the dregs were a cool design as well, I guess. What else is there?
Nikola Tesla.
Yep, that was really fun. I really liked that, and I thought, I don't know, I just really liked Tesla and what we learnt about him and what's his name?
Edison.
What's the other one? Edison, yeah. I thought that was a really good episode as well. Praxeus, I like that as well. I like that one as well. It's probably like the second weakest one after, but it's still good. I still liked it. I don't know, I feel like I'm really positive about this series so far. Typical me. Sorry, it's just can't help myself.
Yeah.
I did have a lot of problems with Series 11, but this has been good so far. Can You Hear Me? Loved that as well. And then Villa Diodati was just great, and seeing my favorite villain return in such a awesome fashion was great. So another amazing episode.
Okay.
Hoping for a good finale.
Well, I think we all are.
Yeah.
I very much hope that it delivers. I mean, I'll say this: the premise is a strong premise, with the Cybermen actually winning. I don't really think we've had a story like that, arguably since, well, I guess you could argue Army of Ghosts, but even then they kind of get overshadowed by the Daleks. So,
I think we hear about the war where like everyone was blown up in like Nightmare in Silver or something.
Yeah, they do mention cyber wars, but I think that's more.
Yeah.
I think it is a different war because they mentioned Siberiad, which is like a.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think like Cyberman lore is probably the most wonky of any of the villains for the pure fact that they've just had so many different origins, whether it be Mondas or Telos or Pete's World, whatever. There's a lot of different.
Did you say in Dr. Falls?
Yes, yeah, he mentions it.
Yeah, he says all the
But
anyway,
obviously keeping track with all of them is it's a task, to be sure. So yeah. So I guess after that we just move into
Me?
we didn't do George. Sorry, George.
Yeah, George.
Sorry,
Is
George.
Wait, who's George?
to do there because
I hate you.
Clearly.
I'm leaving this
Time I've heard of a George
podcast.
question, I don't even
It's hard to
know.
cancel you. I despise Series 11.
So do I.
I absolutely
so much so it does not exist apparently. It does not exist.
Series 12 is a step up. At this point, it's like I said to Corey a few weeks back, I'm not really going into it with loving or hating. I'm just like, because I'm already stopped caring, really. So this is my honest... What's the word you would describe it, Corey? Because there's something...
It's a bit weird. So currently throughout the series 12, you're a bit all over the place. You're like, I like that, but I don't like that. But I really love that, but I really hate that. But overall, I don't care. It's a bit like because it's just the whole Whittaker in general, I think, and the Chibnall stuff. I think.
I'm already, because I think I'm just like grown out of this new era, but I'm just at a point where I just don't want to keep saying the same thing. I hate it. I don't like it. I'm just tired of it. I'm watching better shows now. Obviously, no season, because we did a top 10, top 50 TV shows the other day, and there's nothing going to take away with this new current era. There's nothing going to take away from Doctor Who being my favourite show. Like 1 to 10 is my favourite.
It's kind of like a repeat of last year because of last series, because Series 11, Woman Who Fell to Earth, you was like, actually, I feel really excited about this. And then at some point, you're like, you know what, I don't care. Same thing with this series. You were like, Spyfall Part 1. I really love that.
It's why I keep saying in the reviews.
I see the promise, and then somewhere in between you're going, oh, I don't actually really care anymore.
That's why I don't believe in my honest initial thoughts in my reviews. That's why I kind of brief. But in the aftermath, that would be recording in 3 weeks. 3 weeks time. It's going to be my honest opinion of it. So, obviously, I'm going to brief context to my rating system is 1, unwatchable, 2, very poor, 3, poor, 4, below average, 5, average, 6, above average, 7, fairly good, had fun, 8, good, 9, excellent with a few flaws, 10, perfection. And I don't really give 10s much, so Spyfall Part 1, I enjoyed it. It was 7 out of 10, had fun, it was okay. Need to rewatch, haven't rewatched them, by the way. Spyfall Part 2, a 5 out of 10. It's a bit, it had some good moments. It feels like a crap version than Standard Drums. All 55, a 2 out of 10, because I initially thought a 1 out of 10, but I think I can sit down and watch it. I don't think it's completely unwatchable, but it's really bad. Nikola Tesla, an 8 out of 10. Love it. I do like it. Except for it's a bit of a riff-off of the Ratnos. They could have literally said we're Twin Planet. I think that would be a little bit better.
I feel like they just did it better, though. So it doesn't really matter, because they just, Anyway.
Fugitive to Shadoon, I gave it 6, but now hearing Tharries for these past few weeks, I think I'd give it a 5, just to see what happens. Practicus, I can't really pronounce it. It's a 4.5 because I don't know. It's a 4 or 5. I don't really know. Did you hear me? A 7 out of 10. Really liked it. Good episode, as we can tell in the review. And Tharries is very positive. Farron is really annoyed.
Well, I'm never positive. So.
And the latest one, about the Horton is a 7 out of 10. So I get it's weird, but I gave a lot of 7s. So like, I had fun. Okay, yeah. But rather than series 11, it's a big step up. Graham has more become a comedic character.
I agree with that.
And an actual character. I don't like Ryan. He's not a really good actor. Yaz, no. I don't like the Doctor. I don't really like it. I don't like it. I'm happy. I'm proud to say that. But I'm not. I don't want to make a big deal like Farron or Barish or anyone, because as I said,
Ooh, you just compared Farron to Bullstriker. I'm sure he'll be very happy with that.
He's not going to watch this unless Jack is in the time zone.
Yeah.
You might do. But
I'm moved
George
on.
Marshall, you cheeky bastard.
But what I'll say is, like, I think you're probably the closest to my opinion out of the three of you. I think probably I am kind of with you on the fact that it's I do find it difficult to be positive about that. Like, even in the Can You Hear Me video that we did together, I was very reluctant about giving it a didn't fail, because there were elements of it that, do, like, when you don't gravitate towards a lead character, or like the lead characters in this case, then it does become very difficult to be positive about the show overall, because they're the characters that you're spending the most time with, and if you don't like those characters, then chances are you're not going to be a huge fan of the show as a whole.
That makes complete sense. And it's also like they gave character development and their lies, like in Can You Hear Me, and that's like a one series and 7 episodes. Like it took them quite a while. It should have been established like at least in episode 2 or 3 in series 11, but no. But that's just my opinion. I just think they've done a much better job in the early seasons, but I don't want to make a big deal out of it, because
I do agree that they've got they're getting a good amount of character development, but yeah, you are right. It should have happened a lot earlier on.
It should have. That's probably why I rank Can You Hear Me like as one of the best ones. But I do agree. I think it should have happened earlier. And the whole plot line of Gaz being depressed kind of sort of came out of nowhere, just to tie in with the messaging of the story. And so as being someone who's struggled with those sorts of feelings, I know that they don't just sort of pop up randomly out of nowhere. It's kind of similar thing with Ryan's dyspraxia. These things get brought up and then they just don't really go anywhere with them, and they're just like, well, dyspraxia is not just going to disappear all of a sudden. So yeah. I just think there is, whilst I will say, as I said before, this is a definite improvement, there are a lot of things that just drag it down a little bit, and I like it's frustrating because with a lot of it, you can see that there's a good story trying to get out. Like with Praxius, I could see what they were trying to do, and it just didn't work for me. But I mean, if it works for other people, then that's completely all right, I'm not a huge fan of the ensemble casts either. I think they're way too big, and just little things like that. But yeah, I suppose everyone's opinions are different on that, really, aren't they?
And that's good for the channel, really.
Yeah, that's good for your channel because
we are thinking of continue the Did It Fail series.
We are.
With Jack doesn't know this because we haven't. We kind of briefly mentioned, but we're doing the majority of what people actually hate, like Fear Her and stuff. Like we don't mind.
Went through all the episodes that most fans consider to be bad, and sort of create the series around it to try and say, do we agree? Is it actually bad or not? Sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah. I really like the Did It Fail series. I was surprised because obviously when I was on it, I promoted it quite heavily because I'm good like that. I'm just kidding. And I was surprised by some of the negative reactions, like the word "fail" can elicit in people. Like some people.
When we actually came up with the idea of it, Jack hated the idea, and he made a joke about typical George. I'm not going to say what he said, but he didn't like it. Hey, Jack.
I don't know.
It's too negative. People ain't gonna like it, but it does give you attention a bit. And it's not like we are doing a bold strike and absolutely ripping it into everything. It's a very well balanced review. That's what's good about it.
Yeah, and your sibling actually said it was clickbait, but it wasn't because we actually do answer the question.
Yeah, it's not actually clickbait because we actually do what it says. To be fair, yeah.
Yeah, and I will say as well, like, as sad as it is to say, I've learned this: negativity sells. It's a sad thing, but it's a true thing at the same time. Especially on YouTube in particular, negativity is the thing that gets the views. It's sad, but it's true, and that goes for anything. I don't think that's just Doctor Who specific, because any video that you see saying that a popular movie sucks or something, they're always the ones to get big views. Not the ones that say it's good. So yeah. It's just a fact.
But that's the reason why we chose Did It Fail.
Yeah, I think it was a wise decision.
So you actually go in, and it is obviously with Corey, it's a positive review, and obviously with Aftermath, obviously Jack will be there finally. So it'd be a kind of like, I think it'd be quite even, to be fair, because obviously Jack and I'm assuming the two finales will be okay, but it's not going to change how I feel because we have 8 episodes out of 10. But it's okay. So I'm like, I think Farron's going to be quite.
It'll probably change what you think about
second Q&A.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I like to normally do to sort of like round up the podcast is to talk about like everyone's like just generic Doctor Who fan questions. So obviously I found out Corey's favourite Doctor earlier was John Pertwee. So
yes.
I'm gonna ask the question to the two of you. So George, what is your favourite Doctor?
David Tennant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's fair enough. That's a very popular choice. Obviously, if you see my ranking, I do rank him lower than I used to.
I'm annoyed. Jokes.
He's still good, but I just think he is a little bit overrated, a bit overhyped in that way.
Oh my god! Someone just commented on the Facebook saying, "Can we have her, please? Ruth, my doctor."
Wow.
No.
Believe it or not, David Tennant was my favourite for many, many years.
So you was mine as well.
But then I went, you know what, Peter Capaldi's better. And obviously Pertwee's the best anyway.
Peter was my second. Then I
Capaldi
realised.
Is, you know what?
Then I realised.
You know me. Yeah.
Peter was my second favourite. Then I realised I prefer Christopher.
It's hard. It's really hard.
Peter has slowly been
I'm always nervous of telling Corey opinions because he always like, I know he's probably jokey wise, but he's always like, no, that's wrong. Unquite Dead should be higher.
Well, George, you know that I'm joking, don't you?
I know. That's why I make it dramatic.
I like it. I like the reaction.
No, I agree. David Tennant used to be my favourite, so it's not that I don't see the merit behind that Doctor. I just think, with hindsight, there are Doctors. When you consume more of the media of the show, I think there are Doctors
Absolutely.
who surpass him in some areas. And obviously, my favourite Doctor now is Matt Smith. I love the balance of like the sort of old man in the young man's body, the sort of the cringy humor, but unlike with Whittaker, it's obvious that it's meant to be because it's an old man trying to do young man things and failing miserably at it. So with that added bit of context, I think that makes the cringy jokes a lot more understandable, and you can sort of laugh along with them because of that in a way. Whereas without that prior context, obviously you've seen it with Whittaker, if that's just how a Doctor is, then it can become quite grating, at least to me. And I know some people feel the same as well. So, Jack, your favourite Doctor?
Ooh. So, I grew up on David Tennant repeats, so he was my favourite Doctor for a long time. Then Peter Capaldi came along. He was my favourite Doctor for a long time. And now I'm stuck, right now, at the moment, between three options. There's David Tennant, there's Peter Capaldi, and there's Paul McGann as well.
Yeah, well, he was my favourite for a considerable amount of time. He's only recently been dethroned as my favourite by Matt Smith. So, yeah, I can completely understand. It does annoy me because I know fans in real life, and they really, whenever I say that, you know, my favourite Doctors is Paul McGann, they always give you a look like,
yes.
What are you talking about? That one who was like
yeah,
that one
whenever
terrible
I mention
American
him,
movie. Yeah.
Yeah, but I've really been enjoying and listening to his audios as well. And I think the TV movie has a bit of charm in it, which is, you know, it's fun to watch.
I'm one of those weirdos who likes the TV movie. Like,
same.
I'm just, I think it's bizarre, but at least the ideas like are so bizarre that it's interesting to watch.
Yeah.
Like, comparatively,
it's so camp as well, especially the
What would I
master.
rather watch? Would I rather watch the TV movie or Praxeus? I'm gonna pick the TV movie just because it's more, to me, it's a lot more interesting, you know. And I do like how in recent years the stuff introduced in that movie has been introduced into the lore, because I always was confused by how the Master turned into a snake, but that's obviously been added into the canon since. So
Is it actually?
Yeah, I think it's like basically a form of a time. I'll have to, because I did watch a video on it. I'll have to look it up again. But it's something to do with a sort of like, do you know, like how in Buddhism you get sort of reincarnated as different animals. I think it's kind of like that. That's his like spirit animal.
Oh right.
Yeah, it's a bit strange, but it has been added in, and it makes sense with that context. So,
It's one of those things in Doctor Who that just might never be properly explained because it's just so off. Like, it's so different and like to what we've seen before.
Yeah, and obviously you've just got to let it fly over your head whenever the Doctor mentions being half human, or the Master.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like the thing is, I understand the theory with it that like you could say, oh well, the Doctor says it as a joke to that guard guy, but then when the Master says it non-ironically, then you start to go, I think they weren't trying to do that. When he's like, the Doctor is half human. No wonder.
That's a good impression.
Thank you. I always dress for the occasion. It's so.
Oh, there's so many it's so cheesy, but it's so fun. And it has that charm to it that you're just like,
It's almost it's Doctor Who junk food. That's what I'll say. It's like you feel guilty for enjoying it, but it's very comforting in a way.
Yeah, for sure.
And so Corey. Okay, can we talk about? Have we got any more questions? Or are we wrapping it up?
Well, I would say is there any sort of things Doctor Who related that you want to point out? Any episodes that you really hate or really like, or is there
Sleep No More.
I honestly
don't mind that. I don't think that's bad. I'm fine with that. It was okay. Believe it or not.
I honestly don't really remember it. Series 9, I kind of just block.
When was the last time you seen Series 9?
Oh, wait. Which story?
Series 9.
Yeah.
Just in general, it means in general. When did you last see Series 9?
Oh, a while ago. Like, a lot. Probably haven't watched it fully since it came out.
I haven't.
I revisited Heaven Sent a couple times.
Okay, that's what I mean. Like,
But outside
any
of
random
that,
episode.
I mean, I think I revisited Heaven Sent some point in 2019, maybe.
Yeah.
But then, like, I haven't watched most of the other episodes in a long time. I probably should rewatch it, because maybe, who knows, maybe it'll go up in my estimations.
Definitely under like Before the Flood. I like that.
Yeah.
But not episodes like the girl who died and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, because I did a massive Doctor Who marathon in 2017, and I haven't seen anything recent until the summer, where I rewatched series 4, 5, 6, and a bit of 10, and a bit 2 as well. So and now I've finished rewatched series 3. I need to rewatch series 1 because there are opinions, like the Doctor dances to Corey, but I need to change my opinion because it's kind of faded.
Yeah, that's my favourite of Series 1. And George is like, I don't get that. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Wait, what was your favourite of Series 1 again?
Empty Child, Doctor Dancers. That had a massive impact on me as a kid.
I could get it.
Massive.
I could get behind that.
Yeah, I know why, but I'm not gonna. But for me, it's Father's Day. I think Father's Day I love the concept. I love it. Where's the Reapers in loads of Doctor Who episodes?
Basically, most of Jolie's episodes, because like there was like that whole bit in Villa Diodati where she's like, "Right, we can't interfere." Seconds later, so why don't we write a ghost story? Or it's even worse in Witchfinders because no one even brings her up on it. It's like, right, guys, we can't interfere. 5 seconds later, someone's getting drowned. The Doctor's like bolting it across the ocean.
Yeah, the Doctor's always been like, I guess, just changing time to just suit himself. But with Jodie Whittaker, she's actually like telling her companions, "Oh no, we can't do this. We can't do this."
And the companions are
and then she
men.
does.
Yeah.
Donna was like straight up in Fires of Pompeii was like, "You're wrong. We have to save this person." And the yes men in series 13 are like, that's okay. Yeah, whatever you say, Doc.
I mean, they are starting to question her more now, which I certainly appreciate.
I do like that.
No, I certainly appreciate that.
I think the biggest problem for me with the latest companions is mostly in series 11. There just wasn't enough like drama between them and the Doctor.
Yeah.
And I think that's what you mean by yes man, George.
Yeah.
It's just there's not really, anything there until quite recently, I guess.
I think the best example of what we're talking about is probably the scene in Seranga Conundrum where Yaz is literally just passing the Doctor things while she does like a bunch of exposition, and then she kicks the pating. And then that's just...
me and Corey were thinking of doing a rewrite to that story.
Oh, we did, yeah. Wow.
Well, we just cancelled that. That was way in era 5.
I mean, I want to do more rewrite videos, but my one rewrite video didn't do that well, so it's kind of put me off a little bit. But potentially, if it's the right thing, I might do a rewrite of Series 12. I think that'd be fun.
I don't know if like the What If series Spyfall Part 3 is a rewrite. It's What If. I think we're going to do a lot more What If videos in future.
What If reminds me of the Who Chaser when he did.
He's good.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
He needs to make more.
Yeah, I mean, he did do a couple more. He did one on I think it was Battle around Skorav Kolos.
Yeah, with Graham if he ever killed Tim Shaw.
Yes, yeah. And he also did one. He did another one as well, I'm pretty sure. But I can't remember. Oh no, I think it was
The Christmas Invasion?
Could it be the Christmas Invasion?
Let me check.
Quite remember.
To Chase. I'm just checking his channel now, so he's got 6K. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, his one was what if the 10th Doctor never lost his hand?
Oh yeah.
Oh, of course, yes.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
It got more views than the what if Graham did kill Tim Shaw.
Yeah.
That would be a game changer, that, yeah.
What if the 10th Doctor didn't save Wolf? Bit dark.
I actually
Yes.
really like that one though. That's in a weird way. That's kind of what I want to see for Doctor Who, like a darker Doctor that makes the wrong decisions. That's kind of what I would like.
We almost got that in Series 8.
Yeah, I kind of like that about Series 8, and then Series 9 they kind of ruined it with the whole I'm Dr. Disco. Here's the sunglasses.
Yeah, midlife crisis.
Yeah.
That's probably
I
that's
love
probably
that, but, yeah, I see what you mean.
And some people like
probably
it.
one problem with his
Yeah.
Doctor. Like he's sort of inconsistent from series to series.
Yeah, I think that is an issue with Capaldi's Doctor, is just the sort of inconsistencies as you mentioned. I think they've finally got it sort of right in Series 10, and I so wish that we'd have gotten another series with him now. Back on it with hindsight. Because at the end of Series 10, I was just like waiting for him to go. But now with hindsight, I'm like, oh, I wish I'd have made the most of him when he was around. Because
it's a real shame.
Yeah, I do think he's probably he's probably been the worst treated Doctor since about, you could arguably say, Colin Baker, because obviously there are speculation that he didn't want to leave, and he was kind of told to leave. Because he said in the media that he wanted to stay for the foreseeable future, like 5 years or something like that. And then all of a sudden, like a week later, he goes onto a radio show and says that he's leaving, and it's like, it's very sudden, and there's a lot of mysteries with that. Obviously, whether it's true or not, I don't know, but it's certainly interesting to think about. What if there was another series with? Hey, that'd be a good rewrite. What if Capaldi had another series after?
Me and Corey did do something similar, like rewriting Series 9. If Clara left in Last Christmas, and we had the companion from Last Christmas, we never made that into a video. It was a massive. And how would that affect? And like, what if obviously Peter Capaldi would lose obviously Clara in his first proper series, and his second will be, I don't know her name from Last Christmas, but her, and then Bill in his third. Like, that'd be just like devastating. He lost 3 companions.
Yeah, I mean, arguably, I think Clara should have left in Dark Water, Death in Heaven. Like when they.
I think Last Christmas.
I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of Last Christmas, but then again.
Oh dear.
Nice Chuckle Brothers reference.
Get out of this podcast that you own.
I'm guessing you like Last Christmas a lot.
No, I hate it. I hate it so much.
Just remember, it's Shona. The girl's called Shona. That's the one.
I think we should do that. What if Series 9 if we rewritten it?
When you think about it, if Clara wasn't there in Series 9, there's a lot of stuff that would be different. Potentially.
Where Clara Oswald left in Last Christmas.
I'll probably do another one if if Capaldi stayed on. I think a theoretical
that's pretty
series.
interesting. I think going back to what you said, with getting screwed over, he did get pretty messed up by Stephen Moffat, I guess, and other BBC heads, because he was such a fan of the show, and it didn't really work out how it was meant to, I guess.
Yeah, because he wanted to stay on for years, kind of similar to Colin Baker, funnily enough, which is why it's so interesting when you think about history repeating itself in that weird way.
Yeah.
And I do find it sad that he did leave when he did, because you can tell when he gives that radio interview that he's leaving that he's very upset by it.
Yeah, right.
So it's one of those things. I just kind of wish that when he was the Doctor, I wasn't thinking, oh, just hurry up and regenerate already, which is what I kind of was thinking by the end of. But I don't think that's his fault as much as it was just the way he was written.
Yeah, I think he was pretty wasted. He was such an incredible actor, and I think he's such a perfect actor to play the Doctor as well. And I think
he's arguably the best actor we've ever had.
Yeah, and the full potential that was there just wasn't used.
I have no doubt that he'll probably do Big Finish at some stage.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's such a fan of the show. He'll return somehow.
I think he's probably just waiting for Whittaker to leave, so it doesn't overshadow the current Doctor. and then he'll probably start doing.
I think.
That does sound like him. He's quite a kind man, I guess.
He is.
So I would say probably he'll wait till Whittaker leaves, then he'll start full force with doing the audios, because like they've even got David Tennant doing them now, so I can totally see Peter Capaldi doing the same thing.
What will Matt Smith do? So no, he's in big Hollywood now, like Morbius.
Yeah,
and
he's
stuff.
big time now. I feel like he might return for like a special or something.
I think the 60th. I do
think
believe
probably-
it's like I think
probably done
David
with it.
Tennant and Peter Capaldi could be their last appearance, because they are getting older. And I mean, in the 70th anniversary, will Peter be in his early 70s? Don't know, but David Tennant, for example, like he's been saying he's growing older. His hair won't sit the same. He's getting a ton of wrinkles. But I think he could pull off the 60th. But I don't think he
Oh,
could
yeah, I
for the
think he
70th.
could. I think all you gotta do
I
is
feel like-
shave his hair again, and you know you could totally. I think he could do it.
I think
Yeah.
Doctor's like, oh, Christopher. Everybody's saying Christopher, but he's already looking a bit. If you see his Instagram, he is getting quite old. I
He might
doubt.
be able to recolor like his hair, because his hair's.
I'm sure they'll give an explanation for that. Of course they will. You know, time distortion or something. They'll give
Yeah.
an explanation for it. Of course they
They
can.
did it for
If
dimensions of time.
If Christopher ends up being in the
I'd love
60th, do you think that's going to be big? Like everybody's going to blow up.
Oh, I mean, if they
Oh,
get
yes.
Christopher Tennant, maybe Smith
Yeah.
as well, and Capaldi along
Just
with.
get all the modern doctors.
Get everybody
I mean,
back.
we don't
Yeah.
want Jodie in, but we recently left. So
Oh, what?
She'll be in it. It's that you know.
She'll be in it.
the 14th
I mean,
Doctor.
by the 70th anniversary, we'll have probably quite a few new doctors after Jodie. So
if
Wow.
the show isn't
I
cancelled.
don't know.
I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
if the
Yeah.
rumors are to be believed, we might have 12 incarnations now. You know?
Oh yeah.
So
I don't think.
Me and
that's
Farage
true,
will be
though.
back for the
I
14th.
feel like I have a lot more faith in Chibnall than a lot of people on the internet, I guess.
I mean,
Why?
I wish I had faith, but like he's not really done anything to get me to have that faith, really. Like if he'd have written something outstanding, then I'd be like, wow, Chibnall, I'm on board. But he hasn't really written anything that I would go, wow, that's a blink, or that's a, I don't know, what another story is. That's a Dalek, or that's a blink, or that's a, you know, in the forest of the night, or no, not in the forest of the night, in the forest of the dead.
Those are two very different episodes.
Yeah, I know. I just got
Yes.
I just got the wording mixed up. But I think that about wraps it up.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Yeah.
thank you all for coming on. It's been a pleasure to
Where's
talk
Farron?
to all of you.
You are very welcome. Yes, where's Farron?
Farron,
it's
if
been
you do end
a
up watching
pleasure.
it, Farron, if you do end up watching this, feel free to like attack, you know, George for calling you.
What?
Greg.
Oh yeah.
I wonder-
Sorry, not me. Because I see.
A bit of banter, it doesn't hurt.
Yeah. But also, Farron, I will get you on at some stage as well. Have no doubt I will be getting you on. Probably as the nerdologist, but I might mention time stuff as well.
Right, yes.
Yes, you should.
So yeah, I think that about wraps everything up.
Thanks for having us on, Tharries.
Thanks, mate.
That's alright.
Yes,
yeah.
thank you very much.
I've
been
really
awesome.
Also,
enjoyed
thanks for appearing on our channel and Did It Fails and, you know, helping us
Hopefully
as
more
well.
future
with
Did
the-
It Fails.
it. Yeah, I've.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
Yeah.
can you tell one thing? You like the idea of spiritual therapy, but Jack doesn't. Can you help pitch it to him?
I mean,
that
I think it's controversial enough to warrant a Series 12 therapy. Because
True.
if Series 12 was like unanimously loved by everyone, then I feel like Series 12 therapy would be a harder sell. But because it is still
Yeah.
quite controversial, I think Series 12 therapy is warranted. You could be like one of those ones, you know, I think what you could do is if like you see the queue for Series 12 therapy, you could like roll your eyes at the people in the queue or something like that.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
so-
true.
You know,
I
so
could become part of it.
Yeah.
The only reason I didn't like the idea is because I just like Series 12 so far, and I'm just like, oh, I want you guys to like it as well. Like I'm, you know, I don't want to miss. Anyway, regardless of what I think, they're gonna make it anyway.
yeah.
One
Yeah.
Like, it's a
day.
good
Alright,
video idea.
So with that, everyone, thank you for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see
Yeah,
you.
do that.